As you get your morning started, you can kind of see those clouds that seem to be lingering above our skyline. We do have some rain that's moving in a little bit later, but it's actually dry to start this morning.
Yeah, but it's not going to stay that way. That's kind of important to note, but you do talk about those clouds overhead here this morning. Welcome in. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Matt here this morning. As we say, dry, but that's going to change by this afternoon.
Yeah, late morning, early afternoon, watch out for some of those storms. But a lot of us, it's kind of deceiving. Feels like another nice day, and it is. Make sure you bring the rain jacket and the umbrella with you, even though it's not raining yet.
Okay.
Because you'll need it later.
This time it pays to get to work early.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Right now, though, we are dry. Live look in Bloomington, where temperatures are pretty warm. We're in the 60s and 70s all across central Indiana with that nice southwest wind. What you see here are the sustained winds, but they're constantly moving at. The G's show you the gusts, and we have gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour. Pretty much same as yesterday. We'll have the same forecast as yesterday, just one big change. Late morning, early afternoon, some scattered thunderstorms will be possible using some of the warmth that we have. We have 60s and 70s to the north, 70 in Montpelier, and 68 in Tipton, Kokomo, Sharpsville, Monticello, Logansport, and 69. Good morning in Lafayette. Home of McKinley Brown and Newcastle is 66. Our Henry County Star, 71 in Fishers, McCordsville, 70 in Greenwood, and 70 reporting in Martinsville, 70 in Zionsville, and 69. Good morning in Brownsburg, and 70 degrees holding there in Bloomington. Nice mild start. Now today's forecast is all about these complexes of storms. The first one, not severe right now, but it has grown a little bit. There is a severe threat on this complex, mainly just some gusty winds and some small hail. Just timing it out, pushing it eastbound by about 30, 35 miles per hour. Gets it into central Indiana 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So make sure you be on the lookout for some of these storms, and we'll have them through the early afternoon and then eventually drying out later this evening. So Lindsay, fingers crossed that the morning drive's okay and the evening drive's okay. It's the middle of the day.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good thing.
Sure.
Who knows? Take your lunch with you today to work. All right, let's go up to the north side this morning as we are awaiting the reopening of this ramp here. This is the US 31 northbound ramp to 465 westbound. Overnight, they also had US 31 southbound to 465 westbound blocked as they work on some operations here on the north side. They also had a couple lanes of 465 westbound block. Within the past 20 minutes or so, they did reopen those lanes. So everything is starting to move again smoothly up here on the north side. So that is some good news. We'll keep you posted on when they do reopen US 31, that ramp to 465 west.
This morning, Governor Mike Braun is expected to make an announcement centered around child care affordability.
So many parents will want to hear this announcement coming from the State House today to see what this includes. It comes as the Child Care and Development Fund was cut months ago. Anna Chalker is in studio now with how these impacts are still impacting, or these cuts, I should say, are still impacting families. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. We heard about this last September, and more Hoosiers every day and their families are feeling the impact from that. And right now, around 55,000 children get one of those child care vouchers, but that's compared to 68,000 when the state first announced these cuts. So without these vouchers or any help from the state, it has become harder for our families here to afford child care. In a recent study from the Lending Tree, an average Indiana household with 2 children needs to make 239% more than their current salary to hit a comfortability standard, and that's put in place by the Department of Health and Human Services. This cut is not only impacting families in this, as several local daycares are relying on those vouchers as part of their profit. And we've reported on that for months. We've seen the impacts to them as well. The daycares are either shutting down or coming close to it because of the loss of that profit and not having as many kids with those CCDF vouchers. Now today for the announcement, we do not know the extent of it. We just know it's starting at 8:30 and it is centered around that Child Care and Development Fund. It's a lot for these families. You can completely understand that as well. But this is something nationally kind of getting attention right now, just the cuts as well, but also the quality of life in Indiana. A recent study for this past year saying Indiana has one of the lowest in the country. And there's so many reasons behind that, not just childcare. So we'll kind of outline that coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Anna.
Well, happening this morning, a Hamilton County teenager is expected to enter a guilty plea and be sentenced.
Trey Williams is accused of driving recklessly, killing another teen that was in the car with him. So under this plea agreement, prosecutors are dropping 2 charges. but Williams must admit guilt to reckless homicide.
Williams is charged in the death of Mason Alexander. Alexander was 18 at the time of the crash. This happened near Geist in March of 2025 in Hamilton County. Police say Williams was driving when his car swerved off the side of the road, hit a tree, and then caught fire. Well, in just 3 hours, the Clinton County Sheriff and jail matron, who happens to be his wife, will appear in front of a Marion County judge after bonding out of jail just last week.
And the couple is facing multiple charges, including fraud and official misconduct. Marina Silva has been spending the morning looking into this case, joining us from the courthouse. This is not connected to the last case that had this couple in headlines. Good morning.
Good morning, and no, it's not. Now, the couple will walk into the courthouse today after bonding out last Friday. Now, these charges stem from the couple's alleged misappropriation of funds from the state pension fund. Now, Marion County prosecutor Ryan Mears charged the two just last week. Court documents say that Ashley, who is also the jail matron, is accused of knowingly lying to ISP to receive disability payments worth at least $50,000. Court documents allege that she wasn't entitled to that money. According to Marion County prosecutor Ryan Mears, an investigation found she was allegedly still having contact with inmates involved with investigations and exerting herself both on and off duty when she was supposed to be in a back office role. That's coming from duties outlined by her husband, Sheriff Richard Kelly, before he took office.
You know, the evidence that was presented to us, and our allegation is that she stepped out well outside of what those initial job description duties were, and that she was acting in a way that was inconsistent with the disability diagnosis that had been provided to the Indiana State Police.
The Clinton County commissioners are calling for her to resign and for the resignation of her husband, the sheriff, again, who was also charged. Ashley Kelly is currently on the Republican primary ballot running for Clinton County Sheriff this year. Now, we'll be in the courtroom this morning at 9 o'clock as the two are walking in, and we'll have multiple updates throughout that and bring them to you later today. Reporting outside the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
All right, thanks so much, Marina.
Almost 6:08 on your Tuesday morning. Some new insight into a disturbing child pornography investigation and a vigilante sting operation at the center of it. 32-year-old Dylan Kruger made his first court appearance yesterday. He is facing 4 felony counts of possession of child sex abuse material. This case goes back to April 4th. That's part of the video you're looking at here. This is when a group called Predator Poachers posted a video online of them confronting Kruger, the group leaders there, and him admitting to having explicit images of children on his phone. And he later confirmed that admission to police, but he wasn't arrested for several days. Court records say police did not and cannot use the evidence that was recorded by that group. Marion County prosecutor Ryan Mears says it's best to call law enforcement instead of setting up stings like the one you see here.
This morning, a man is on life support after being attacked on the job at the United States Postal Service facility on Indy's east side. Police tell us 20-year-old Darius Riggs was stabbed Saturday night. His mom tells us he was stabbed in the neck, causing a lot of bleeding. Now, family members are wondering why and how this happened. We are working to learn if anyone has been arrested or is facing charges. The Postal Service did send a statement sharing sympathy for the Riggs family and did refer us to the Postal Inspection Service for details on this event. We did so and have yet to hear back. Hey, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Julia. It feels like a summer morning out there with the 60s and 70s. We're dry right now. We'll stay dry for a couple more hours. But then eventually rain and storms are on the way from Illinois. I'm going to time them out for you, let you know what you can expect throughout your Tuesday.
18 rock and roll legends will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Ahead on Sunrise, who made the cut?
And President Trump facing more backlash after a social media post that appeared to depict him as Jesus. What he says in response that the post actually shows.